Good morning, everybody, and welcome to How to Feel Sexier Than Ever, even after cancer, sexual abuse, domestic violence, or divorce. I'm Lauren Doll, and because time is precious, I want to thank you for coming. You could have been anywhere else right now, but you've made the decision to be here, not for me, but for yourself, and I want to acknowledge and honor that. I'd also like to take the time right now to clarify who this is right for. As you know, again, time is of the essence. And if you're going to spend the next hour with me, you'd like to know whether or not this material is a good fit for you, would you not? So this is right for you if you're a woman at least 25 years of age who's spent most of your life being the nice, good girl. You believe you've given the very best you have to those around you, and you've allowed others to benefit from your sacrifices, which have included your career, your family, your money, your time, and most importantly, your health. And there are many layers to your health here: physical health, sexual health, emotional health, mental health, spiritual health, and your energetic health. We'll get into all of this later on, but if you're tired, stressed, and you don't feel as feminine, womanly, and beautiful as you would like, this is for you. If sex feels, if you'd rather chop onions or watch MASH for hours than have sex, this is for you. If you're 20 to 30 pounds overweight and you've tried every diet known to man, but you just can't seem to pull your confidence together and shed the weight once and for all, this is for you. And if you're experiencing a major transition in your life, a divorce, toxic relationship ending, situationship ending, or have survived something like cancer or domestic violence, you might have experienced a death in a family, or, just a lot is just piling on. This is for you. Um, this is something that I put together to help women who are scared to continue life the way it is. You're scared to continue life the way it is because it doesn't feel good, and you're heading down a path to destruction and you feel it. And by destruction, you might not feel like, oh, I'm drinking every night or I'm doing things, I'm abusing myself, but you're more and more miserable as the days pass. This is for you. So if you don't know if there's any real purpose to your life, you might not know exactly what you want to do, you just know something's got to change, and you're ready to feel sexy, sensual, feminine, and happy, and release fears and blocks about femininity, sexuality, or sensuality. And if you're ready to be open, honest, and authentic and take full responsibility, this is for you. If you resonate with this in any way, welcome. What you're going to discover are three things. I'm going to share the secret of age defying sex appeal. You will not find this at the Met counter. You'll also discover the quickest way I know to feel sexier than ever, and the life hack to fearlessly own your sensuality. By revealing these things, I'm also going to provide three things you can do today to feel more confident, beautiful, and sexier than ever without any money or major upheavals required. Now, at the end of this masterclass, I want you to know that even if you've been through the worst life has to offer, cancer, sexual abuse, domestic violence, divorce, you can be the goddess of your life. You'll have a starting foundation to feel and be more sexy, sensual, feminine, and alive than you've ever felt before. Now, I know making a claim to help you feel sexier than ever, even after these things I've listed, is a bold move. But I'm saying this because it's true and it works. I've been through some experiences myself, including sexual abuse and divorce, and I would not share this material if it weren't effective in helping me transform myself. Now, if you continue life as usual, you're not going to get anywhere. I want you to come here and understand that listening is not enough. You've really got to apply what I tell you today. Believe it or not, you have everything you need right now to start your transformation, even if you don't think you do. Have you ever heard of a chrysalis? A chrysalis is where larvae are cocooned and where they seclude themselves as they transform into a butterfly. Right now, I want you to believe that you're in a chrysalis. You're transforming into a butterfly right now, and you are the butterfly. You're ready to fly, but you're trapped in your chrysalis, and it happens sometimes, and it's keeping you stuck in place. That's why you feel stagnant and frustrated right now. And that's why things are painful, because you've outgrown your current existence and you're in danger of being trapped forever if you don't push through past the metamorphosis. You're not going to experience a physical death like the butterfly that dies if it can't break free from its cocoon, but it can be an emotional, spiritual death. Life will continue as usual, but each day it's going to take you further and further away from what makes you vibrant, radiant, and excited to live. Your confidence will ooze down the drain, and you'll tell yourself there's no purpose to life. That, it just is what it is, and that anyone who seems to have everything is just lucky. It's not the case. So I'll share some of my story with you. I was born and raised in New York City. I didn't leave home until I was about 20 or 21. My parents have always been together. They just celebrated their 40th year anniversary. And I grew up in a pretty normal home. My parents worked a lot. I was expected to be the model child. I was the one that had to have the smart grades, do everything correctly. My older sibling is about 9 years older than me, so I was the oldest of the last three because there's four of us. So I was the one that had to be responsible, babysit, make sure things were taken care of, and I was always in the top class in all of my grades. So I was almost always alienated because I was the one token black kid, but I was smart, so clearly I deserved to be there. Either way, it was kind of hard making friends. I kind of stuck out. I didn't live in the same neighborhood as other kids and things like that. And life was pretty lonely. And as an early teen, I befriended a girl who made herself like an older sister to me, the older sister I never had. And she ended up being more than my best friend. She sexually abused me. And when I was 18, I had my first boyfriend. He cheated, and I was kind of aware of it, but I was still a virgin. So it was like I was kind of indifferent. I just wasn't willing to give it up. But once I actually decided to give up my virginity, I felt really guilty. I was raised Christian, and I was taught that, you wait until you're married to have sex. So I felt guilty, but he would pressure me to have sex, and then he would force me to immediately get on my knees and repent, pray for repentance and forgiveness afterward. And it literally led to this cycle of me having sex I didn't want to have and then praying for forgiveness about sex I didn't want to have. It was a crazy cycle. And there was a little bit of verbal and emotional abuse in this relationship too, but that was just what it was at the time. At 23, I married a great guy, but we had our own challenges. There were issues of trust, challenges with intimacy, and then I realized I was riddled with anger and depression over the abusive, toxic behavior that rippled from the ex boyfriend into our relationship. That compiled onto the amount of weight I regained because I gained a whole lot of weight. I lost a lot of weight after I went through sexual abuse, and then I regained it. So my weight would yo yo from one extreme to the other, depending on what happened in my relationships and the trauma. There was this link between them. But everything, and then I was financially stuck in my marriage. I was financially dependent for so many reasons. And I started to self abuse myself to cope. I would take it out on myself. And at some point, it got to a point of desperation, and I knew that I couldn't continue what I was doing, and it wasn't healthy for me or him because it added to our problems. So I had two options: death or divorce. It was that bad. So I divorced at 26. I worked on rebuilding my life and caught several snags. I've had some fertility issues, including ovarian cysts, elevated testosterone, signs of polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS as we call it. I attracted and developed unhealthy one sided relationships where men would use me as their emotional cum dumpster and string me along for commitment, but they were never ready for the commitments and they were just never ready. They just needed somebody who they could emotionally dump on or fantasize about things that they would never do with. And I was truly serious, or so I felt, about finding the right man for me, about falling in love, about having this family. I wanted to have all of my kids between the ages of 25 and 30. I wanted to be a MILF. And fast forward, I'm in my 30s now. I just pushed past the 30 mark. I'm 31. And basically, that hasn't happened. But I'll tell you what has happened. I've got 4 degrees, 2 of them are masters. I'm extremely proud of those because they're in something I'm passionate about. I moved out of my parents' house, which was a place where I was stuck and refusing to grow up. And I built myself from the ground up here in Dallas, Texas. I have a fantastic apartment. I love it. It's in a luxury community in North DFW area, North Dallas area. Um, I couldn't have asked for a better apartment and a better space. It brings me peace. It brings me clarity. I have a great business. I help women brand themselves and communicate, and I provide design and copywriting for different people. And most of all, I have the confidence, sex appeal, and charisma that I've always wanted, yet never thought was possible. I felt so ugly. I couldn't look in the mirror. I couldn't stand I couldn't stand to see my own face. There was a time where I was gorgeous. But if you told me to look in the mirror for more than 10 seconds, I would burst into tears. All I could see was all of these ugly things people told me about myself, especially men that I had been with, and things that I told myself based upon the ugly things other people would say to me. I always had this yo-yo situation where I was either always extremely ugly looking or extremely beautiful. So when I was extremely ugly, lots of attacks on how ugly I am and how I need to fix this and that about myself, mainly about my weight or about my skin color because I'm a chocolate girl. Or it would be all the way on the other side about how beautiful I was, but how sexy and how much sexual energy I exuded. And I had no idea I exuded that level of sexual energy. And it wasn't that I was doing anything. I had a certain type of shape. I have a certain level of curve. And there's a lot to say when you have a pear shaped or hourglass figure, you're a curvy woman, and people start to sexually objectify you, even if you're carrying yourself in a normal way. And then it was, you have a pretty face, you have a gorgeous face. So it was like, what am I? Am I pretty? Am I ugly? What is it? But either way, there were attacks for being too sexy or too pretty and having to cover up or behave this way or overcompensate with my intelligence for my looks or having to overcompensate for my quote unquote ugliness and be nice so that I was likable and didn't have to hear those kinds of comments. I'll tell you that now that I've really recalibrated, I have the confidence, sex appeal, and charisma that some women can only dream of. And sometimes it shocks me because I know I'm gorgeous, I know I'm sexy, I know I'm beautiful. And I also know that even though I don't have the children and the husband now, I'm a great catch for the right man because I am sexy, focused, ambitious, and I'm doing what I want to do, going after I want, and I'm sensual, I'm vibrant, I'm alive. I've attracted some of the finest men alive, from everyday personal trainers to professional athletes. I attract men of all ages. I can have conversations with men and celebrities of influence. I used to work as a magazine editor and speak to them with confidence. And never had any need to sleep with anyone to become this way. I'm exactly who I always wanted to be, but I had to transform myself. I had to question everything I was taught about what it meant to be a woman, everything. I had to question staying in a marriage that wasn't right. I had to question the fact that people wanted me to stay married while ignoring the warning signs of self abuse, including the 90 pounds I packed on being married because I lost weight, I gained weight, then I lost it again, and then I packed 90 pounds back on. I had to question everything I was taught about what it meant to be a woman, what it meant to be true to myself, and what it meant to be happy. And I had to realize that nobody would change my life for me. I had to do the work myself. And I'm happy. I'm beautifully happy. I I love my life and I love the insights that I'm able to share because I'm truly happy. And I want nothing more than for you to be happy as well. And one thing I learned is that The path to really owning my femininity, sexuality, and sensuality, those were the keys to becoming sexy, focused, ambitious, and confident. Now, all of these energies sound like they're one and the same, but they're not. They're all important and they kind of work like a triad or three legged stool. If you take one away, the other two have to compensate and it can throw you off balance. Now, many women do feel that feminine energy means being stepped on, controlled, abused, submissive, subservient, and it's a misconception. It's not true. I was one of those women. I would always be more aggressive or hard or closed up or just rough around the edges because I felt like if I was submissive, I would be stepped all over. And I was already stepped on enough. I didn't need to be uh, a welcome mat. I didn't need to be anybody's footstool. And let's be honest, the world greets femininity with hostility, bitterness, and violence, which makes being feminine seem scary. But there's nothing to be afraid or ashamed of because the truth is, being feminine doesn't mean being subservient or submissive. It doesn't mean having men or patriarchy control your every move. Feminine energy is also, it's about being receptive, it's about being creative, it's about being alive, it's about being expressive. And you learn to receive as much as you learn to give and enjoy it. Feminine energy is also much more than just going with the flow. It's about choosing to live deliberately in the moment from moment to moment, choosing freedom, love, and life regardless of current condition. As you'll see, when you live on autopilot, it dulls your energy. And that's when you fall into these unhappy ruts because you're not honoring the feminine wisdom inside of you that's ready to push you past your current plane of reality and allow you to really enjoy life at its best. Our lives are experienced on a physical plane. However, everything is energy, and therefore, the energy you exude is the energy you attract and maintain in your life. I actually read something today. It said the universe is not punishing or blessing you. The universe is responding to the vibrational attitude you're emitting. That means the universe is responding to your energy. The energy you put out is like a signal. And it's like like how Batman shines his bat signal, like somebody shines the bat signal and people are attracted to it. That's what's going on with your energy. Your energy puts out a vibration telling people what you seek. And those things that match the vibration seek you. Just like when we said, what you seek is seeking you. So when you emit fear, self hate, low self esteem, you attract and vibrate towards more fear, self hate, and low self esteem. And you just create this cycle of unhappiness. But when you activate and radiate feminine energy, you express yourself differently. And feminine energy expresses itself differently than masculine energy. Feminine energy is expansive, attractive, radiant, happy, powerful. Masculine energy is extremely powerful, and we'll get into that later. But feminine energy, this is what we're seeking right now. This is what you're seeking to open up because that's the part of you that's been shut down. And your path to feeling and being sexier than ever is about making the choice to live from a new perspective. You're going to be expansive. You're going to refine your senses. You're going to increase your capacity to experience pleasure and receive and walk through life with a heightened sense of awareness. This is the non sexual sensuality I'm speaking of right now, but it moves into your sexual sensuality because where you show up in one area, you show up in every area and it feels damn good. Now I'm going to talk about the secret of age defying sex appeal. Now, again, like I said, society litters us with so much, and they litter us with a generalized statement of what's beautiful, sexy, and acceptable. The cosmetic industry is a $1 billion industry designed to support beliefs that beauty is found wearing a specific shade of lipstick, the perfect foundation, or an exceptional brow threading. Sexiness is not purchased. That is the big secret. Sexiness is not purchased. Cosmetics and beauty products can enhance your beauty, but they're not the core of your sex appeal. They're not the core of your beauty. Sexiness is cultivated from within. It doesn't matter how much makeup you wear, how many people tell you you're beautiful or how sexy you dress. You're neither sexy nor beautiful until you see it for yourself. And that requires immense self love. And that's the first step to feeling sexier than ever. And that's making the decision to love yourself harder, better, faster, and stronger than ever before. You've got to love yourself fiercely in this cold world where we're taught to place our self love, value, and beauty in the hands of others to control. Giving yourself strong self love gives you an instant responsibility and activation of your own sense of sex appeal and beauty. Responsibility gives you the ability to respond to life and transform it to your desire. When you take responsibility for something, even if you aren't the cause, it gives you the power to change its effects. And right now, you're going to transform and take responsibility to bring more love, power, confidence, sexiness, and beauty into your life. Now, as it relates to other people, you can't change them. You can't change their attitudes. You can't force them to think differently. But you can only change yourself. But doing so influences others. So if you're not feeling sexy, beautiful, feminine, sensual, amazing, then when you start to see yourself this way, you can let others see you as the sexy, beautiful woman you wish to be because you're going to emit this vibration. And that vibration is going to transform the energy of people around you or attract more people around you who agree with you and pushes away those who don't. And either way, sometimes when you just simply carry yourself different with I love myself, it sends an instant message instantly. So I want you to make the decision to own it, own that sexiness, own that sex appeal, own yourself and say, look, I love me. I love me, flaws and all. That's that. That's it. You cannot buy that. I promise you, if you feel like crap today and you go to the MAC counter or the Bobbi Brown counter and you put on some lipstick, it's only going to help you for 5 minutes and then you're going to go back feeling like crap. Or you'll attach your beauty to that lipstick you purchased. And that's just not how it works. It does not work that way. You have to see your beauty and your sex appeal and your femininity and your gorgeousness and your worthiness without a stitch of makeup, without anybody's approval, and without anybody's permission right now. Now, the quickest way I know to feeling sexier than ever is to start making as many moves as possible in the name of loving yourself as opposed to fear. The opposite of love is fear, and fear has many acronyms. False evidence appearing real or fantasized experiences appearing real. No matter which way you look at it, fear holds you back from going all the way in because it keeps you worried about the what ifs instead of helping you experience what is. And in addition to providing these rules about what is and what isn't beautiful, the world gives us plenty of things to fear, which we internalize and use to paralyze ourselves. And a lot of it has to do with beauty and sexiness. Again, there's this idea, okay, don't be sexy. It's dangerous to be sexy. You could get hurt. Don't be beautiful. You can get followed home by somebody. Don't be feminine. You'll be walked all over if you're feminine. Feminine women don't win. Don't be this, don't be that. You get, how many times do we hear stories of a girl who gets raped, sexually assaulted, harassed, has her body parts groped or grabbed? And instead of saying, wow, that's disrespectful, something should be done, somebody goes, well, what were you wearing? Where were you? What were you doing out that late at night? What were you doing in that area? Or, that's what, you work and you get sexually harassed at the job. Well, you're attractive. That's what happens to pretty girls. Sexual harassment, sexual assault, rape, slut shaming, those things are all very real. And whether you know it or not, there may be parts of you that refuses to open up and activate that sexy part of you because you're fearful of something happening and you're fearful of the response or the blame that'll come, the victim shaming, the victim blaming, because something may happen to you. You can't be that way. Don't the ignore the don't be's. I want you to be. Really, just be. I want you to feel safe being sexy. And we're going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you. We're going to do that. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So right now, I want you to do a little exercise. I want you to grab a pen and paper if you have one, or just grab something really quickly. And I want you to just set it to the side. Now I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Imagine that you're getting ready for your friend to come over. You're fixing up the house, and just as you're done putting everything away and getting everything out, you get a knock at the door. And you open the door, and this beautiful, beautiful version of you walks in. She's really sexy, really feminist, really gorgeous. She's that dream version of yourself. And you've never seen yourself look so damn good. You didn't know you had the potential. So take her in for a moment. What is that future version of yourself looking like? How is her hair? What is she wearing? What color is her hair and makeup? What is her skin looking like? Is she smiling? What is her smiling expressing? Look at her hands, her nails, her feet, her body. What kind of health is she in? What colors is she wearing? What makeup is she wearing? When she reaches in for a hug, how does she smell? And she tells you, I'm simply here to say hi. I haven't seen you in so long and I miss you. I'm really busy, but I'm here for you whenever you need me. And you look outside behind her and there's a car behind her. Take note of that car. Tell me what that car is. Now I'm going to give you a few minutes and I want you to ask this woman, what do I need to do to get on track to being you and really bringing you forward into my life? What is it that you need me to do to emerge? What do I need to fix about myself? What needs to change? All right. Now she gives you one last hug and a kiss on the cheek. And she walks toward her car, enters her car, and drives off. I want you to take a minute to ground yourself. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Take a couple of notes about what she said. I'll give you about 15, 20 seconds for that. All right, so I want you to know that the only difference between you and that beautiful, sexy, feminine, powerful woman you just spoke to is the lifestyle you're living now. And your lifestyle is composed of your thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and desires that have translated into actions, habits, and patterns that have kept you on the path you're currently on. And in order to reroute to a more desirable destination, you're going to have to take into consideration what that beautiful version of you told yourself and start making consistent, conscious choices every moment. And let each moment connect to the next until you're flowing on a new path in her direction. So, the second role to becoming sexier than ever is to infuse yourself with as much aligned action to bring in as much femininity, sexiness, and beauty as you can stand. Start with your energy by thinking beautiful thoughts of yourself. You love yourself, but think beautiful, sexy thoughts of yourself because your energy dictates your environment and actions by default. Do it physically. What makes you feel feminine, sexy, and beautiful? Surround your life with things that allow you to feel feminine, sexy, and beautiful. Do things for yourself that allow you to feel feminine, sexy, and beautiful. If this means that you have to take an hour to yourself to get a massage once a week, once a month, that's fine. If this means getting a pedicure, that's what it is. If this means simply having a cup of chamomile tea in the morning, every morning while you read a book of poetry, perhaps the essential Rumi, that's fine. You have to pamper yourself and pamper your energy on a consistent basis to cultivate the feeling of irresistibility and unwavering femininity that you choose to live with. The sex appeal you desire comes from feeling yourself not only with amazing self love, magnetism, and attention that you seek, but from doing things that support that feeling internally and externally. That means you're not just going to transform your thoughts, you're going to align your behaviors to get with the program. So, what's one thing you can do today, right now, or before the end of the day that can help you feel really, really good about yourself? Is it going to Godiva and purchasing 2 pieces of chocolate? Again, is it getting a manicure or pedicure? Maybe it's getting a reflexology or foot massage. I need you to go ahead and do one thing. Or you can go give yourself a manicure, take a bubble bath. Just do one thing today, one thing for yourself to really pamper yourself and that beautiful energy of self love to really bring it home for you. And now, like I said, when you really embrace and embody your sexiness, it's an amazing experience. Life transforms before your very eyes, and you shed a lot of the malaise, frustration, and negative energy that's been holding on to you. And you also become really attractive to other people. Sometimes they can project their energy toward you. There'll be positive energy, there'll be negative energy. And negative comments, nasty remarks, jealousy, sexual harassment, and heaven forbid, unwanted, unwelcome attention without you, and that may result in somebody touching you without your permission or trying to, that can also happen. Again, I spoke earlier. I said there were times when I blossomed in my life and things happened. And the first thing, things, negative things happened. And I received a lot of compliments. I, felt more alive and vibrant, but I also dealt with sexual harassment. I've dealt with men trying to follow me home. I've dealt with men stealing my phone number. I've dealt with men attempting to harass me inappropriately. And when these things have happened, the first thing I was asked was, well, what were you wearing? You've been dressing like a slut lately. You've been dressing like this, dressing like that. And I can tell you right now, the times that I did not dress like a quote unquote slut, if you will, were the times I exuded a lot of energy and still had things happen. So that's really that's a point of contention for me. That I hate that phrase. But when it comes to the world, you have to understand that when you vibrate sexiness, you vibrate effervescence. You literally glow in the dark. Have you ever seen a lamp outside at nighttime? It's swarming with flies and moths and all types of little gnats. But you know what a lamp does? It lights up the environment. It illuminates a pathway. It shows you the direction you need to go. It attracts you in its direction. You feel safe in that light. You feel comfortable in that light. And yes, it attracts nastiness and little flies. They're also attracted to the light. You just have to protect yourself and shield yourself from that. That's why this one life hack to fearlessly own your sexuality, femininity, and sensuality works so well with the self love tip I gave you. Once you employ this life hack, you can literally do this in seconds, and you're activating the third secret to feeling sexier than ever. You can fearlessly own your sexuality in every aspect of yourself, including arrogant levels of self love with boundaries. Boundaries are a strong fortress of protection for your self love and value. They're the rules we establish and put into effect to provide guidelines for how we experience life and how others interact with us. Boundaries provide a greater sense of confidence, safety, and security. They create walls to allow us to be our sexy, feminine, beautiful selves and to roam freely in our expansiveness without the fear of harm, shame, or negativity. And boundaries also increase your sex appeal. We're attracted to people with firm, clear boundaries because they know who they are, what they want, what they don't want, and they exude a confidence and self assurance that radiates in their being. So here's how to quickly establish some boundaries. Make a quick list of things people cannot do to you. For example, you might say, no one can hit me, no one can interrupt me, no one can call me a bitch, no one can call me a hoe, no one can call me at 3 a.m., no one can lie to me, no one can give unsolicited advice, no one can give criticism. Make a full list of things people just can't do to you and write down the top 10 boundaries you want to enact in your life now. Congratulations, you've just got your first set of boundaries. Now, when people respect our boundaries, they demonstrate respect for us. And when we respect others' boundaries, we demonstrate respect for them. So when people don't respect your boundaries, it's your responsibility to address the issue. And if someone repeatedly refuses to respect your boundaries, that's when you know this person doesn't belong in your life. And you have to take the appropriate actions to limit their contact, if not eliminate it at all. So minimize the contact or eliminate them from your life completely. Now, boundaries are a very important aspect of becoming fully blossomed and sexually awakened. And if you like what you've heard about this, I want you to take a look at the invitation page for Libertine because during Libertine, we're going to take a deep dive into setting, defining, and protecting the boundaries in this program. Now, I want to talk about the wound. We've spoken about how to become sexier than ever, the specific steps to take to become and feel gorgeous, and just really own our power. But what if you doubt yourself and doubt the possibility? What if you think it's impossible because of what you've been through? I'm fat. My husband beat me. He knocked a couple of my teeth out. I look in the mirror and I want to see this beautiful woman, but I only see the stupid bitch my husband told me I was. Or I had a double mastectomy. I lost my hair. I lost my friends. I lost my family. I lost my job. I lost everything I had. And I don't have breasts and I'm still bald from chemo. I don't feel anything like a beautiful, sexy woman. I have no idea where to start. Or I was drugged and gang raped, but nobody believed me because it happened at a party, or because I'm fat, or because people say I'm ugly, or because I already have 3 kids by 3 different men. And people just think that I agreed to do this. These are real stories. And I have friends who say this, and I've even told myself some of these things. And it really saddens me to hear this and to know this because these are painful experiences that nobody should ever be forced to endure. However, I want you to know your healing will only come from shifting your perspective. The things you've been through are atrocious, yet they no longer need to hold you hostage and locked into the pain you're currently in. They were lessons, painful lessons. But if you can shift your attitude, you can transform these utterly fucked up situations into opportunities to break yourself open and transform into a goddess who owns her power physically, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, and unapologetically. Make no mistake, the world is full of craziness and people will readily take advantage of you if you let them. Things can happen that seem beyond your control and out of your control, but you are not powerless. You have no demons to fear except the ones you create. The only demons you should worry about are those of your own making, which are the personal addictions and unhealthy attitudes you bring into life. You simply have to make a decision to shine fully in all of your personal, sexy, sensual, feminine power. Let love guide you through your transformation and create and enforce strong boundaries to secure and protect you. As long as you're ready to take responsibility for transforming your wounds into beautiful scars of war, you'll never lose. I want you to know that you're a goddess not a victim. And your conscious choice to live in a powerful feminine energy directs everything going forward. Wake up every day knowing exactly who you are and that you're exactly who you want to be or on the path to be, and your environment is going to transform to follow those thoughts. So here's a recap. You have to make a decision to love yourself and allow love to guide your transformation. You choose how much more feminine, sensual, and sexy you want to be because that's all a personal conscious choice. But it comes from within and it comes from owning it. And then you make those aligned decisions to act in accordance with things that create more of that feeling that you want. Because you have to be in that feeling to really become that woman and ooze that energy. And you have to know that it's safe to be powerful as long as you have your boundaries. Your boundaries are everything when it comes to this transformation. This is how you feel and become sexier than ever. Now, if you're ready to take it to the next level and you're thinking, you know what, this sounds good, and you're ready to dive deep and you want some assistance, I want to invite you to Libertine. Libertine is a call to feminine, sensual living, and it outlines specific principles of feminine energy, sensuality, and attraction that will transform your state of being to increase your womanly appeal. Imagine being able to relax into your feminine energy, wave it in the air like a magic wand, and attract clients, cash, stronger relationships, better work environments, and all the sensuality, soul, and sex appeal you can handle. Libertine helps you go underneath the craziness of your day to day chaos to create a flawlessly feminine way of being that effortlessly allows you to cultivate and attract attention and ambiance and happiness. Now you can balance your energies and presence to trigger a stronger power and transform yourself into an attractive feminine goddess. So I'll go through this. The program is 6 weeks long. In week one, you'll become a feminine goddess. You'll rejuvenate your intuitive understanding, love, and respect for feminine energy. You'll learn what it is not, and explore techniques for immediate application in all areas of your life. We'll also explore spiritual energy and archetypes and practices for cultivating a stronger spiritual relationship with yourself and your higher power. Because this is a part of cultivating that energy, is having a strong spiritual foundation. Whoever you serve, it does not matter what religion you are, this is applicable. And even if you don't celebrate a religion or worship under a certain religion or even believe in religion, as long as you have a sense of spirituality, this is a good foundation for really locking in your feminine core from a spiritual anchor. We're also going to look at the archetypal energy. There are different archetypes, and different archetypes have personalities. And when you understand the personality you have, you understand what that personality needs to really feel cultivated, wonderful, beautiful, luxurious. And we're going to go into that. Week two is about pampering yourself and your energy. I'm going to show you. We're going to indulge in ourselves. We're going to learn to set boundaries with your loved ones and clients. We're going to establish consistent rituals to manage stress, to declutter and attract clarity, peace, well being, and luxury into your life. I'm going to go through different things that can shift your energy in as little as 68 seconds. Um, Help you find an hour per week to really take care of yourself. And even go into like the broke girl's guide to luxury. If you want to pamper yourself on a budget, but don't know where to start, I'm going to get into that because you don't need to have millions of dollars or hundreds of dollars to pamper yourself. Week three is all about, communication and vibes. We're going to start to discover ourselves and understand that as we really peel back the layers, we're going to have to keep it real. We're just not going to be able to hold back anymore. And we're going to tell people how we feel. And you've got to learn to say what you mean what you say, and live with civilized assertion. So I'm going to show you how to establish your connection points with others, learn to improve your communication, um, detach from other people's bullshit and block their negative energy, detox yourself and your home from negative energy, and learn to express yourself clearly and concisely without having to feel like you're doing TMI, and just bringing in good vibes and tranquility. We're going to go over boundaries again here. This is where we're really going to dig into our boundaries, because boundaries are really, really important. So, week 3 is all about boundaries, communication, vibes, all that good stuff. Week 4 is about owning your sex appeal and sensuality. This is one of my favorite weeks because we're going to talk about really harnessing sex appeal and sexuality, and we're going to get into the sexual aspects of femininity and sensuality, because sensuality isn't automatically sexuality. And sensuality isn't automatically feminine. Sensuality is slowing down to allow life to be experienced through the senses so you can take it all in instead of ignoring and rushing through everything. Sexual sensuality allows you to increase your capacity to give and receive pleasure, which can open you up to a new level sexually. This week, you're also going to receive a gorgeous package that's designed to aid you in our very own self love project. You're going to learn how to look yourself in the mirror and say, I love you, and really mean it, even if you feel fat, ugly, undesirable. I'm going to show you what it really takes to be, do, and have a sexual energy signature of your own that lasts forever. And I'm going to give you a daily practice that's going to rejuvenate your sexual energy so you can feel sexy and vivacious every day. And I'm going to give you the tools and tricks to get a soft, sexy, supple body at any size. Week 5 is all about money, loving money, attracting money, strengthening our relationship with money. You can't build a life of delicious attraction without having a sacred relationship with money. So, we're going to take a deep look at what it means to create money by developing and owning our value, our assets, our creation. And we're going to dive into the soul of financial management with practical discussions to aid you in overcoming financial challenges. So, I'm going to go over secret habits that destroy your financial security. I'm going to go through ways to begin developing strong financial assets and multiple streams of income. We're going to go through the spiritual and energetic link between sex, money, and life because it is important. We're going to get into the chakras here. And we're going to learn how to say no to other people's requests for money. Friends, lovers, families, family members, salespeople. If you want to put an end to people coming to you every time you get $100, $200, $20, $2,000, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that because at that point, your boundaries will be stronger. But when it comes to our friends and family, we get these little issues and we get these little triggers because we feel like we can't say no because it reflects our loyalty. No, it doesn't. And I'll show you exactly what to do here. Week 6 is Ask Me Anything week. We're going to be going through so much information and it's going to be amazing, but I'm not going to overwhelm you. However, by week 6, as you work through the steps and you work through the different things and you really peel back and let the real you emerge, you're going to have more questions. And this is the week where you really get to ask me anything you want, and we'll create a 30-day plan designed to help you continue your journey. So if you're interested, head on over to the page. It's laurendahl.com/libertine. Now, I really, really want you in this program if it sounds good. But if you're not a good fit, I'm going to warn you right now, you might not be a good fit. And I'll give you the guidelines because it's not for everybody. This is just not for everybody. It's for I want you to come, but if it's not for you, I'm going to make it clear now that it's not because it's just not for everybody. It might not be right. So Libertine is not for you if you need, it's not for women who need safety, security, acceptance, and approval from others. This is about you right now. You don't need anybody else's permission to be great. And if you feel you do, this just isn't the time. It's not the time. This is not for women who are not ready because you might need more time or you feel like you don't have the time. You don't have the money. It would really financially hurt you to make this investment. You need more proof that this would work. I'm not proving myself to anybody. My work is speaking for itself. Um, you're uncommitted, you don't finish anything, or you don't feel you need this. If you don't feel you need this, That's fine. I'm not offended. You don't need it. You know what you need and you know what you don't. And if you're uncommitted, I can't accept you either, because the last thing I want, I have limited spots available, and I don't want you to take up a spot that could be used by a woman who's really, really ready for this. If you're not ready, you're not committed. And the last is a woman who refuses to let go of the story and refuses to see herself as a goddess instead of a victim. You're not a victim. I can't let you be a victim in my presence. We have to take what you've gone through and turn it into a beautiful, beautiful situation to really step this game up. So, no. And somebody might ask, Lauren, well, why did you create Libertine? I created Libertine because there are too many walking around scared to blossom into their desired version of themselves. We need fearlessness and not fear. You know, I don't want any more women that are walking around scared to be themselves, but desperately, desperately craving to be. And I don't see a lot of programs that really provide this at all, especially at this level. If you're ready to be a six-figure woman, if you're ready to be a millionaire, if you're ready to be more than what you've been, if you're ready to explore more than what you've experienced, you need to put yourself in a position to take it to the next level. And that's what Libertine does. If you have this major brand you're trying to build, or this major company, or this big dream, but you're stuck inside yourself and you need to unleash the sexy, confident version of you, that's what Libertine will do. Libertine will help you with that. It'll help you become fearless. It'll help you have the natural confidence, sensuality, and feminine power you want. It'll help you feel safe and secure in your skin without thinking about it. And it'll give you increased fearlessness to take control of your life. I mean, who doesn't want that? So, what you get is you get the 6-week workshop with the private support group. Each week, there's going to be a group call plus office hours. It'll be recorded, so if you miss a session, you can send in your questions or you can ask them at office hours. You'll get a recording, and then you get a gift set. The gift set is specifically designed to kick up your sex appeal, and it really goes well with what we have planned for week 4, which is all about sex and sensuality. There are a couple of goodies in there. I'm not revealing what they are. You really have to sign up to get it. So let's talk about your investment. It sounds good, sounds amazing, but you're like, okay, what's my investment? What do I have to give for this? This 6-week experience is valued at over $6,000. The full investment, the full investment right now will be $3,000. But because you're here on this call, I have to inform you you're going to get an even sweeter investment. Early bird enrollment is listed on the page right now and is active until May 4th. After May 4th, that deadline is going to rise. And I really, really want you to go ahead and take a look at that investment. It's valued at, you're going to get over $6,000. That's usually $3,000 for way below $3,000. I'm not telling you how low it is. You have to go see it for yourself. So you're like, okay, it's worth $6,000. I would regularly pay 3,000. What's the guarantee? How do I know this will work? What are you going to offer me? I'm going to tell you right now that Libertine was created with every intention to help you realize your highest feminine sensuality. With the exception of program cancellation, there are going to be no refunds. Once you're in, you're in. So I want you to sit with yourself, meditate, pray, and do whatever you need to research me and ensure that you're confident in your decision. Otherwise, if not now, when? The price is going to rise with every cycle through the program, so there's really no time like the present if you know that this is what you want. Now, I'd like you to show up and complete and fully participate in Libertine. Show up to the calls, show up to the office hours, show me that you're thoroughly committed to your success. And if you're not satisfied, send in all of the work for review. You must complete all assignments and do all the work and send it in order for me to give you an offer for resolution that's of equal or lesser value. That's my guarantee. My guarantee is that if this is not working for you and you don't like it and you complete the program and you're not feeling the transformation you need, send in all the work. You and I will work something out together. Now, I want to tell you that there's a bonus. I'm going to be holding a 1 day mastermind in Miami. I know it says 2 days. That was a glitch. I'm sorry. It's going to be at the end of the experience. It's going to be toward the middle of July, middle or end of July. We're going to meet live in celebration of what we've conquered and mastermind our next steps. Everyone in attendance for this mastermind is going to get a gorgeous swag bag, but I'm going to have a VIP gift basket that one lucky lady is going to take home. Details will be announced after registration. Now, if you're like, I'm really in, I'm really interested, I love what I see, I'm going to tell you about the fast action bonuses. I really want you to commit to yourself, and I want to make it easier than ever for you to do so. So, if you decide to register right now while this webinar is live, you're going to receive the program at an even better price. This price is so insane, you're just not going to believe it. So, the price of the mass of the program is up, but the early bird price for viewing this webinar is also up now, and that's the active price. You have to click the button and find out. Now, the first woman to register and pay gets one 30-minute private session with me. So in addition to the group Q&A, you get one 30-minute private session with me at any point during the program to just really go in one-on-one on anything it is that you're trying to work through. And if you register while on this webinar, I'm also sending that special lady and anybody else who registers right now my top secret feminine attraction oil. It is a sultry scent and it's a personal oil blend to infuse myself with sensual feminine vibes. Whenever I wear it, people stop and ask me what I'm wearing and what it is because it really smells delicious. You cannot find this scent in stores. It's a custom blend. It's not available for sale. You can only find it here through me. And I don't ever plan on putting it up for sale because it's mine. It's my blend. But you can get it. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Now, I really want you to feel feminine, powerful, sexy, and in control for once. Give yourself the opportunity to be the gorgeous, empowered goddess of a woman you have the power to be. Explore your wild, sexy, mysterious feminine side and get a taste of what it's like to really revel in your energy. You only live once, and there's no time like the present to take control of your life and control of your energy. There's no time like now to fully be wildly sexy, focused, ambitious, feminine, sensual, and successful. If not now, when are you going to do it? And I want to warn you that I only have limited spots available. I'm not going to open the floodgates for everyone to pour in. Only 20 women max can enroll. Once I reach 20, the registration button is going to be removed, and every other woman who tries to attend is going to be placed on a wait list, and she'll be notified when the next round comes out. And the next round, the price will increase, and I don't know when it is. I can't guarantee the next round is going to be right after this round. It really depends on what's going on. So if you're really in, I encourage you to put your effort in now, put your foot in now, and say, let's do this. I don't believe we've crossed paths for a reason without a reason. This experience is one of serendipity. You're here because there's a longing deep within you expressing its desire to be filled. There's a part of you that's like, I'm ready to be sexier. I'm ready to be more confident. I'm ready to feel radiant. I'm ready to own my sensuality and my sexuality. I'm ready to really just own it. I'm ready to take charge. If you know you're tired of waiting for the right time because you realize that the right time does not exist and that only now does, and you're ready to answer the call of your wilds, step forward, come closer. Let's make this happen. Be the goddess, not the victim. Create your life, rule your world, make the decision to say yes, and experience the delicious joy of goddess femininity, sexuality, and sensuality as you enjoy this journey called life. Are you ready to say yes to yourself? I really hope you are. Now, That's been the presentation. I thank you so much for attending this masterclass. If you have any questions, feel free to get in contact with me. I can answer any of these questions that you have, and I look forward to seeing you in the program. Have a great day.